You must disconnect from the spirit that rules you. Because Abraham was part of a family that was saddled with the responsibility of priesthood in that nation. So Abraham's family, they don't go to school. I hope you know, according to archaeology, Ur of the Chaldees is the first place for civilization among humankind. So there were people that went to school, but Abraham's family, they were dedicated to the altar. Abraham came from a family of priesthood. They know how to hear the whispers of spirits. So it was not too unusual for a voice to be locked in his head. They were priestly, they were in the priestly line. And God said, there's nothing positive I can build as long as you remain in this context. The evil spirits will take the glory for what I want to do. So get out, disconnect from the spirits. Let me tell you something about disconnecting from spirits. If you are still with me, say amen. You know, spirits are very possessive. They are jealous. Number two, they are possessive. And so when you go and you want to make any attempt to disconnect from a spirit, it declares war. Sometimes the spirit can come and make you feel lonely. There are so many people, but it begins to play the chord of your emotions and make you feel exclusively lonely. And if you don't understand the tricks of the enemy, that will become a basis of control. You want company, and because you want company, you get involved in things that the spirit likes, and then they establish the dominion of the spirit again. So his entire family were dedicated to the altar, which is the spiritual system that runs the civilization of all of the Chaldees. Abraham was next in line to inherit the mantra of that altar. That means he was the next Ezemo in line. Are you with me? The intensity of the spirit was so strong on him that the spirit, because the spirit loved him so much, the spirit of that altar loved him so much, he decided to put his mark upon his family. It's by the passionate love of that spirit that his wife became barren. Because it was a spirit of fertility, a fertility god. And fertility gods control life, the cycle of life. So Sarah's barrenness was a proof that Abraham was chosen to be a worshiper of the fertility spirit. It was blessing, it was a sign of approval that the spirit had chosen. So he was next in line for the highest possible portfolio in the managing of the altar. I'm talking about a woman. This lady was confirmed barren as a teenager because the spirit had placed his mark. There's only one way the spirit can be known. Are you with me? Oh, you're not with me. I say, are you with me? There's only one way. We can't see this. We can't see spirits. So the only way the spirit will be known, if it's a spirit of barrenness that is being worshipped, he makes the women barren. He can retain their beauty, their elegance is still there. But what happens? The womb has been taken. The spirit will put his fingerprint upon you so that it can be remembered. If it's a spirit of poverty, you are going to see a spiritualized mode of lack, a cyclical routine mode that is transgenerational. You will see parchedness and dryness and poverty. You know, the kind of poverty that when you see it, you don't need a dictionary to define it. It's practical. It's what the people that wrote the meaning in the dictionary saw before they were inspired to do the writing. Strange poverty, because the spirit that is being worshipped is a spirit of poverty and reproach, and he had to advertise his skill on his subjects. If you are still with me, say amen. the job of a pastor is a terrible job. Oh, you will see twisted people, maligned, destinies cut off. And you go into the spirit realm and stand before the court of heaven to receive a verdict from the mouth of God as an instrument, a rhema, with which you battle, you war to retrieve what Satan claims to be his possession. The real job of a shepherd is manifest in the day that a wild beast comes for your sheep. So Abraham had to be separated from the altar. You see, are you still with me? Oh, you are not with me. When God called Moses and said, go to Pharaoh and tell Pharaoh to let my people go. That call was not lucrative. Moses had to seek details because he knows Pharaoh the serpent. I don't have time to open the scriptures, show you from the prophecies, the visions that people like Isaiah saw, Ezekiel saw. They saw the substance of Pharaoh. And the substance of Pharaoh was the likeness of an anaconda that was in the midst of the Red Sea. The reality of Pharaoh was in the Red Sea. That was why God chose that they should cross it. There were other ways to go to Canaan. In fact, the other ways are shorter. It will take 6 days to make it to Canaan. But the great one said it must be through the belly of the sea. I don't have time. Why do you think that? Go and watch any ancient Egyptian movie. You'll find out that on the crown of Pharaoh there is a cobra. That was where his reality was. He drew strength from a mystical serpent that had its dwelling in the midst of the river. And then you are going to tell him, let my people go. He said, God, if you want to kill me, just tell me